I'm going to change the bulbs.
Good morning, Internet. We are leaving Tonglu this morning. We are already on the station and we're waiting for the high-speed train. And today we are leaving to the lovely, lovely city of Shanghai. Now, the high-speed rail network of the People's Republic of China is the world's longest and most extensively used, with a total length of 45,000 kilometers now by the end of 2023. This network encompasses newly built rail lines with a design speed of 200 to 380 kilometers per hour. The China high-speed rail network accounts for 2/3 of the world's total high-speed railway networks. Now, the Chinese high-speed trains transport about 1.9 billion passengers per year, which is an incredibly a number of people that takes this train yearly. And at this speed, it wasn't long before we reached the outskirts of Shanghai and got off at the station, where I think a great portion of this 1.9 billion people got off this train. We swapped the train for metro and we head into the city to explore the most lovely city in China. Our first business is to go to the Bund, which overlooks the Huangpu River, which flows right here through Shanghai. And what you're looking at here is the Oriental Pearl Tower, which has 3 balls. The top one at 350 meters above the ground or something. That big ball there at 200 meters above the ground, and then a lower one at around 100 meters above the ground. Now, yeah, the Oriental Tower is placed here in Pudong, which is today the thriving business of Shanghai, also has the highest building, which you can see there. And but Shanghai didn't start off as a major city. It started off as a fishing village. And if we now look back at the skyline of 1990 versus the skyline as it looks today, we can see how much the city has grown in the past 34 years. On the western side of the Huangpu River is an area called the Bund. Now, this is a waterfront area and a protected historical district in central Shanghai. This Bund was once a part of the so-called international settlement area of Shanghai, which was controlled by foreign forces during a period that stretched from the final chapters of China's last imperial dynasty in the early 1900s through to the middle of World War II. Now the Bund has about 52 well-preserved old European-style buildings, which is now protected. It is a distance of about 1.5 kilometers along this river, and it takes about 30 minutes to walk it. It is absolutely beautiful. Now, these buildings are built around 1910, 1913, all of them in that era. The history is here. There was a settlement, and that was represented by a consolidation of American and British settlements, which was set up to ensure that the trade and territorial concessions that were forced upon China by the international community were respected. Now, the Chinese saw these treaties as being grossly unfair, which is why they referred to in the Chinese parlance collectively as unequal treaties. The territorial concessions were mainly to be interpreted as access to Chinese ports, both for the purpose of trade as well as for the purpose of replenishment of food, fuel for visiting ships. But of course, the Shanghai settlements themselves represented territorial concessions. Now, although the Chinese government of the time was outraged about being compelled to condone this trade in opium, they also denied all foreign merchant ships and military access to Chinese port, even for the purpose of replenishment. So it was in this, at the heart of the conflict, since the denial of the ships' international right to replenish effectively banned shipping, not only to Chinese port, but also to ports beyond. Now, the French government was then invited to include each settlement in the combined Shanghai International Settlement, but the French declined, and they maintained a separate French settlement, which is also seen here. So this used to be a hotel called Suites. Now we're going into the heart of Shanghai, and yeah, see these kind of buildings, beautiful Spanish restaurants, Captain Hotel, historical names out here. This is an alley with stalls and stuff, and then on top of it, the historic primary retail area of Shanghai was to the west of the Bund, via Nanjing Road, dating back to as far as 1845. Now this road or the street is named after Nanjing, the capital city of Jiangsu province. And yeah, it's just a long history of this road. It was commonly referred to as a main road in Chinese, but by 1943 it was renamed to Nanjing Road, and eventually it became Nanjing Road.
It's cool, eh?
Now this street attracts about 1.7 million visitors per day. Per day. Is busy. And events on this road include Chinese New Year, New Year's Eve, Christmas, Easter, all of those. There is just like millions of visitors in the street, and it has been like this for many years. We're going to take a walk through Nanjing Road and show you some of the stuff. Now this is Nanjing Road. Everybody stop for the big rush, and here it comes. So, like a Spartan battle. The nights in China is turned into a fantasy by the lights and stuff. It's just so wonderful to walk through this and look at all the lights and things. So anyway, this was our first impression of China, Shanghai rather. This is part one. We'll take you through a couple of parts in the next couple of days. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and give us a big thumbs up. And then we will see you in the next one. Good night.